Yeah, and we can see there, I mean, there's a little bit of dust, but we can still see there's good moisture in most of the circuit. And
there we go, I'm checking my phone.
Yeah.
Now,
we try to catch up.
I was paying attention.
Yeah, go on, what we got?
No, because three-time, I call him four-time world champion, Dave Thorpe. Because Dave, you know, he kind of, he hadn't discarded it, but he did win that Vets World Championship as well.
He did. I was there for that.
So Dave's been texting me in here. I'm still not sure I've got the green light to tell everybody what he's texted me. So I'm just messaging him now. DT, stop looking at the screen and just give me confirmation with his text message if I can actually tell the worldwide public what you've just told me. Okay? So I'm waiting for confirmation for DT to see if I can actually say what he's saying, okay? If he can, then we'll do that. But a bit of information about Conrad. So I'm just getting the green light, and then hopefully I'll let you know what Dave said in his text message.
Yeah,
there we go.
And this is it. Our connection to the outside world is a very, very sinuous one, usually based on our ability to get a mobile phone signal and nothing else. So here's our top qualifiers then. Conrad Muse was fastest this morning in time training from Oriel Oliver and Ben Watson, Taylor Hamill, Carlton Husband, Eddie Wade, Tom Grimshaw, Bobby Bruce, Ben Edwards and Jason Meara. So as these riders come to the line, we're going to take a quick word from our partners and we will be back with the gate drop of MX2.
Welcome to Club Dirt Store, the new way to shop off-road. Stack up points with every order. Then bend your points for discounts. Join the club for free today.
So the few riders come to the gate then, just dropping in there is the number 40 Triumph of Ezra Blackwell. His young lady was down in pit lane giving him all the signals this morning and looking after him, and he's dropping into that space there just on the 6 in from the far end of the grid. All of our main contenders in the centre of the gate. You can see Ben Watson, our red plate holder, is in there. He's changed colours for this one. He's in more of a turquoisey colour. There he is with the red plate, and then he's next to Bobby Bruce. The 426 of Conrad Muse in there as well with Oriel Oliver. 15-second board is up. 5 seconds. Here we go then. Away they go. Oh, Watson got a great drive. The Dirt Store Triumph then. Is he going to lead into turn one? It looks like he did. Everybody through there safely. He's not leading.
No, he's not. Oriel, wasn't it?
Oh, no, Watson up the inside. That was a nice pass. That was a really nice... It wasn't. It was Duro.
It's Duro.
It's Duro. The South African took the whole shot.
Mixing it
on the Chambers KTM. South Africa will be going up in the... Peter Marisburg will be going mad.
Hamill third as well.
Yeah, so good start from him. Where is Conrad Muse? 5th, 6th, I think.
I wasn't sure if that was Carpenter or Muse behind Hamill. But this is Watson's chance in the post-race interview. I think that Mario Oriel actually behind them.
It is.
He said in the last post-race interview, he understands how important starts are around here. He said, I'm going to go back and make some changes to the bike. There's a few things we need to work on. And he said, starts, basically was his point here. If he can get a good start in the opening lap, he's got a chance of winning this moto, and that's exactly what he's done. But Conrad Muse was ripping in that opening moto. So let's see where he is. Still no sign of him.
He's buried. Well,
that's him there, isn't it? That's him there.
It is. So that puts a completely different complexion
a long way back. Okay.
Ooh, so all of a sudden this is interesting. So Watson then from the 23 off Taylor Hamill on the DRT Kawasaki. Steve Dixon will be jumping up and down looking at that one. Then is that Duro still there in third on the Chambers KTM? I think it is, Jeff.
Yeah, I believe it is. But Watson, he's got a real shot here. now winning this thing, because Conrad has got some serious work to do.
No, that's Oliver. It's Oliver in third. So where's Duro gone? There he is. I think, was that Bobby Bruce? We'll wait and see when they come across the line. Look, we're trying to identify him on a tiny little TV with dubious lighting.
Now, this time I'm confident with overall mathematics.
Yes.
Ben Watson did get a second in the opening moto, so if Conrad's going to win the overall, quite simply,
he's got to win the race.
If Watson stays at early laps, obviously stays where he is, he's in the driving seat to win the overall and keep that red plate. Right, so I stared. We got the first lap under our belts. Let's just get them all over the line, and we're going to get the time, the JTEC timing column up. There it is.
So let's see if we can see. So Conrad Muse across the line in ninth, Jeff, behind Tristan Purden. So Duro did come across the line in fourth. It was Bruce fifth. Charlie Putnam in sixth. A great start from Putnam. So off the back of his teammate winning MX2, Putnam up there in sixth. Mira seventh. Purden, Muse, husband, Charlie Cole, Tom Murphy, Grimshaw, Sid Putnam in 14th, Ben Ebbs 15th. But go on, give us your news.
Right, I'm going to give you the news. You keep an eye on the racing. So obviously I teased you before the start of this moto saying that we had some info from Dave Thorpe about Conrad. Some people in the industry insiders kind of heard some rumours. So Dave has sent me this message. He's saying, look, as a team, we kind of expected a steady start for the year, because on November the 5th in 2025, Conrad, he had both his hips dislocated by his surgeon. This is mad stuff. To shave off some excess bone on both femurs that was causing him a great amount of pain. So they kept it under wraps. So that's why. So basically, in off-season, as late as November, Conrad actually had surgery on both hips.
They basically took his legs off, shaved a bit off, and put them back on. That's pretty impressive.
And obviously, he just kept his head down. The team kept it quiet, and he just got his work done. So that's why. Going back, thinking to his winner's circle interview at Hawkstone, where he came in third, I now understand where he's like, well, it's not good enough, but I'm kind of happy because of where I'm at. So Dave has now given me the thumbs up to divulge that information. Conrad, athlete that he is, doesn't like to. I was talking to him about this, and he's like, well, I don't want to make it sound like it's an excuse. Well, that's not really an excuse.
But obviously, if he's been riding around the pain and all the rest of it, look, you can't do that indefinitely.
Yeah. So drops to Conrad Muse. For just knuckling down, not making a big drama about it. I guess the team didn't want to give anyone a sniff of weakness as well, that kind of thing. But so basically, Conrad's been riding himself back into fitness after double hip surgery.
I mean, we've seen that, and we've said that as well, that he's riding his way into fitness. He's now up to 7th. He's passed Putnam, Purden and Carlton Husband on that lap. Tom Grimshaw up to 11th as well. But the 23 of Taylor Hamill on the DRT Kawasaki is not making life easy for Aurel Oliver, because let's not forget that the battle for the championship between Watson and Oliver until today could not be separated on points. They tied at Hawkston, they tied at Preston Docks. They were both on 85 points, with Conrad Muse a further 3 points back. And obviously he clawed that 3 points back on Ben Watson in race one. They are tied on points out the top of the championship at the moment, with Oliver just a couple adrift. And what that means is that Oliver needs to find his way past this 23 Kawasaki. And
he's on him. He's really all over him, and he's going to have to handle the pressure here. But Taylor's been good at that. If you heard me kind of like chuckling a little bit in the background there, this has opened up a whole new thing now. I've had another text message come in, this time not from Dave Thorpe. I'd love to say what this message says, but I can't. But it made me laugh. I've had a text message from Craig Elwell. Yes, Craig, I've got your message. Your choice of language, though, I won't be able to forward on that message. But noted. Okay.
So Watson then starting to break away at the front. But look at that, Jeff. The gap from Oliver to Duro in fourth is 10 seconds. And Conrad Muse is the other side of that gap. He's 17 seconds down. A big mistake from Watson blows the berm.
Yeah,
so let's see what this gap is next time by. Now, I've also got echoes of opening round of a championship from 2025, which will haunt me forever, where I said to our wonderful crew guys, let's not follow the leaders because there's an 8-second gap, and half a lap later he passed him. But Conrad Mewse is a long way adrift time-wise of this top 3. And while Ben Watson starts to eke out a gap at the front on Taylor Hamill and Oriol Oliver, we are wanting to see what the gap is back to Conrad Mewse in 5th, 6th or 7th. So he's up to 4th now, but he is 17 seconds adrift of our race leader.
What I would say, and you obviously now, everybody's now heard that info that Dave feels is the right time to announce what has happened. Going back to the opening round last year, remember he was 30 seconds down on Adam Sterry.
Yes.
And ended up winning by 30 seconds. The championship's harder this year. You've got Taylor stepping it up. You've got Oriol Olivier joining the party and Ben Watson.
Yeah.
But even at this stage, with 17 minutes to go, you cannot rule out Conrad. What we were going to find out here is the next 2 laps. If he takes 2 or 3 second chunks out of them per lap in the next 2 laps, then I think you could say it could be on. So the next 2 or 3 laps, I think, are real critical here for Conrad Mewse, particularly if he's going to try and win the overall, because quite frankly, the only chance he's got of it at the minute is overtaking and taking the race win, unless something happens to Watson. So that's where we're at. 18
seconds adrift and 17 minutes plus 2 left on the clock. I am not saying it's never going to happen, but as it stands at the moment, these guys are too fast and too far away for him to have any kind of pull. So he needs to have some kind of superhuman effort to try and break that, to kind of break that gap down. So Watson then on the Dirt Store Triumph. Well, like I say, Mewse up to 4th. He passed Cameron Durow on that lap, and obviously he is piloting the Adam Sterry 811 bike that the Chambers KTM would normally be riding, and obviously he's resting up at home, I would imagine. So if you're watching, Adam, we wish you a speedy recovery and back to the championship. Your foot injury in Trentino coming at not a great time, but we miss you at this championship, and we look forward to seeing you back on track very shortly.
This is good stuff from Taylor Hamill. I mean, you know, the top 3 in this championship are so strong, and Taylor is finding some confidence. You know, he's getting a bit better and better. Yeah, last couple of years, I think certainly it was always destined that he should be on a 450. His last year or 2 in the 250, you could see he was probably just getting a bit too big and heavy for the bike. To bridge the gap to these top 3, you know, Ben obviously doing GPs, Conrad doesn't, but we know he's capable of like beating some of the best riders in the world. And then got Oriol there in there racing GPs as well. And Taylor, that, like we said in the first race, he didn't get such a good start, and that top 3 got away from him. Well, this time he's made a good start, and it's proven that he can run the pace because he's still in there at the half, you know, coming up to the halfway stage of the race.
And let's put this in perspective. Ben Watson, proper pro. Oriol Oliver, proper pro. Taylor Hamill's got a job.
Yeah, totally. That's what
so he's a working man. He's a working man who races for fun at the weekends. It's not his main source of income, and he is out here mixing it with the very best. Like I say, Oriol Oliver and Ben Watson both running the top 10 in MXGP this season. So this performance from Taylor Hamill, maybe this is something to say to Steve Dixon. He needs to chuck another bike in the truck.
Yeah.
He'll be like, no, don't start this. But no, we've got Taylor Hamill at this level, the performance that he's doing, this is really outstanding. To expect him to go and do it at a high level, I don't think is fair on him or the team. But he is keeping that Kawasaki front and centre of British motocross. And,
I know assumption is, what do they say, the mother of all, I won't say the word.
Yeah,
but,
here we go. Is there a pass at the top there as Oliver got up the inside? No, they have a look then.
Oh, he's going to squeeze him. Just about gets him.
I think Taylor gave that up a little bit. I won't say a little bit too easy, but he gave it up easily enough. He didn't want to risk a collision. So now Ben Watson,
I thought he was off the track there. Yeah, you're right, Phil. You do not want to have a collision off of that, because that is a big old drop off. TV again not doing it justice. What I was going to say about assumption is I am assuming, I'd like to think I'd see Taylor making an appearance at the British GP. I'd love to see him get an entry into MX1.
Yes, the wild card would certainly be nice. And when I saw him at Motul in EMX 250, that was when he impressed me with the way that his posture on the bike. He looked like a proper professional GP racer, not just somebody hanging off trying to go fast. He would put his toys, and presentation on the bike was great.
Okay, some news on the fastest lap time. Take a guess.
Is it Conrad Muse?
It's Conrad Muse. Yes, that last lap around, get this, he took 4 seconds out of the race leader.
So he only took a second out of them on the previous lap. So he went from 17-something to 16-something.
He is going to be appearing in this shot soon. I tell you what, 12 seconds. But if he's taken that amount of time out of him, which is bonkers, he took 5 seconds out of Taylor Hamill. He took 4 seconds, I think, out of Oriel. So, right, we said these next few laps are critical. If he can keep that pace up, it's still a massive ask, but he should be, if he keeps that pace going, within the next 2 laps, be very close to joining these two.
So what we need to see now is the Dirt Store Triumph team giving Ben Watson the hurry up, Conrad's coming. Are they signalling where Muse is on the circuit? There he is, look.
God, he's hauling.
Oh, the crowd out getting excited at the side of the track there.
The speed he came into shot, you could just tell, was like seemingly a few miles an hour quicker than any of the other riders in that shot. He is closing in at some rate here. It's all in for Conrad at this point.
And like I say, this is championship stuff. He wants that red plate back on the front of that Crendon True 7 Honda. And like I say, team boss Dave Thorpe will be following live timing and seeing what he's doing, the same as we are. But at the moment, after what was an absolutely shocking start, the 4.26 of Conrad Muse is getting a proper wriggle on in this second Apico MX1 race.
His time, by the way, was 2:12.359. As we said, 3 or 4 seconds quicker, certainly than Watson.
He's made a mistake there, though.
Didn't lose too much time. So he's pushing it. Well, is that Watson going up? It is, isn't it?
Have we lost Oriel Oliver?
No, he was still there. That was Watson. I tell you what, this is on. Because I saw Oriel Olivier going up the start. He was just coming out of the corner, and that was Watson halfway up the start straight.
I think it was. Yeah, Oliver was like in the darkness there. Didn't quite see him because obviously Hamill is now back to third. So it's 5 seconds from Hamill to Muse, and
well, there's enough time.
Yeah,
definitely 10 minutes if he's carrying on at this rate.
10 plus 2 then. It'll be interesting to see what the split of the lap times is. There's Taylor Hamill. So Muse is closing in.
And that plus 2 is critical. Obviously, don't just look at the time on top of your K-Tech timing tower. That's the countdown until the 2-lap board goes out. So you can
whilst we're getting excited about this, obviously, this chase for Conrad Muse, let's not overlook the fact that Tristan Purdon is running a good 5th for Lexa Honda, with Jason Meara on the Yamaha there in 6th. Duro, he's still there in 7th on the Chambers KTM. Bobby Bruce on the 579 Honda, he is there in 8th. Tom Grimshaw 9th on the Apico Honda, and Carlton Husband on the Phoenix Tools Fantic. He is rounding out the top 10. Tom Murphy having a better ride in race 2, filling in for the injured Josh Gilbert. He's 11th. Ben Edwards 12th. Charlie Cole 13 on the 772 Kawasaki. Then it's Charlie Putnam and Lennox Dickinson there in 15th. This is on.
Sorry, Phil, it is on because that was really just shy of that straight. I mean, Watson was just going out of the camera shot into the corner, and just coming into view at the other end of the straight was Conrad Muse. Yes, that's the difference between first and fourth. And yes, you've got to overtake the riders to get there. But at the speed he's travelling, I would imagine, although we say in some places that Lyng are hard to pass, he is carrying so much momentum.
He will find a way.
Yeah, I just can't see, unless Taylor comes up with some kind of real resistance in holding this charge. But look at the speed that he's... I mean, it might be on now. He might get it not quite.
So Hamill is going to find himself back into 4th and off the podium, which is a shame because the Kawasaki man has been decent today. But look, he just, Conrad Muse, he's doing Conrad Muse things, and sometimes he just doesn't get this turn of speed. But today, it's there and it's coming. He's going to
undercut.
Back.
He's going to try back. I think he's going to right round the outside.
Oh, that's a nice line.
Inside or outside there, but this is where it just pinches up. He's going to force the issue. Taylor don't want none of it. Pulled out of that one, and I don't blame him because he could have ended up into that chestnut fencing.
Yeah, there was nothing there for Hamill to fight. We've got 8 and a bit minutes to go. He's going to hold him off for 3 or 4 corners at best. Hamill is no idiot. He'll know that Conrad has caught him very, very quickly, and as a result of that, he's just...
Oh, lovely the way he kept the rear wheel on the ground right there. Right, now this is it. The next, because he's got clear track now, this is make or break. This next lap, if he can take another 2 or 3 seconds out of the 2 riders in front of him, then you can see the gap. That was last time across the flag. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to tell you, look how it's coming down, because Oriel's just up round the corner there. Let's see if he gets it down. If it's like down to 5 seconds with 7 minutes to go. There's Watson. There he is. So Conrad was just going to come into shot.
And there's Auriel Oliver. Let's not forget, Oliver is still only 1.5 seconds off the back of the Dirt Store Triumph. The Spaniard on the Gabriel SS24 Factory Juniors KTM is not letting Ben Watson have a minute's rest.
No, he's not.
So there's Watson. There's Oliver.
And of course, as fit as they are, and Conrad, he was telling us at the Michelin 125 Academy as our guest speaker last night, how like routine, he's now understands. When he was younger, he'd skip a few training sessions, not get enough sleep. He is like a robot these days when he comes to his training. Let's see if it's going to count, because he has put a lot of effort into this first part of the race, almost like his team manager Dave Thorpe at 85 at Farley, stormed to the front of the field,
and then
but then they were longer motors, of course.
Yeah, but he just got to a point where he's put so much into getting where he is to give himself a chance. So he only took about 1.25 seconds out of the lead of Ben Watson on that lap. 6:30 plus 2 to go. Is it going to be long enough for Conrad Mewse to battle his way to the front, or will Ben Watson cement his red plate for round 3?
That was ridiculously quick, the way he did that, the way he jumped in the corner. That's reminded me of Ken Roxon at the Birmingham World Supercross, the way he jumped there and there.
I had a prime seat for that. We were sat right opposite where he was doing that. That was excellent, that was. Okay. So Conrad then, is he still able to pull in our race leaders? It's 1.7 between Oliver and Watson, and Conrad is a further 6 and a bit seconds back.
No, he's rolling.
Oh, he is.
Oh my God! He might have only took a second out of him that previous lap, but he's definitely taken more of him out of this one. Wow, what a lap this has been for Conrad Mewse. Like we said, last one might not have been so quick, but my God, he is absolutely on a charge now.
Nobody's leaving. There's Taylor Hamill. So there's your race leader. There's Oliver.
I just want to
No. So that's... So all of a sudden, has Ben dropped the hammer?
Yeah, well, he looks like he has, unless
Oliver made a mistake.
But I think we should see Ben coming down the hill. I don't think there's Watson.
There's Ben.
He has dropped the hammer, yeah.
So there's Ben. There's a lapper. That's the 967 of Jake Preston on the 2-stroke.
Or is it?
That's Oliver falling back towards Conrad. And now Conrad has got to find his way past Auriol, and he's struggled to do that a couple of times this year.
I think Ben Watson last lap around might have got the old...
Yeah.
You need to go and go now.
Yeah. This is it, son. You are needing to go. Oh, nice wheelie.
Yeah. That was good, but Conrad should be coming into shot, is he? Has he gone?
So it was 1.7 across the line last time from Auriol to Ben Watson.
Well, okay, yeah, they're all three of them are he's tucked the front. Remember, he made a mistake in the opening motor and went over top of that berm.
So the gap's gone out 7 seconds.
Yeah, Conrad made a mistake because he didn't come into view. So,
this is going to be tight, Jeff. This is going to be tight. Conrad has not given this up. Auriol's made a mistake and started to fall back to him. So Ben has Ben has really got his finger down. Conrad's still the quickest lap of the race, but I'm just waiting for the timing to refresh here. And I'll tell you, out of the top 3, who was the quickest rider on track last lap around, it was Ben Watson with a 2:14.73. So he took 0.3 out of Conrad, and he took 2 seconds or more out of Auriol, who was the slowest of those 3 riders last lap around. And so is it the fact that for all of the effort that Conrad Mewse has had to put in from the start to the middle of this moto, he's just running out of steam at the time when he needs it the most? They're starting to get into the lap traffic.
Yeah, they are. They're going to catch these guys. No, not too bad. They should clear them by the time they get to that tight hairpin that winds its way up the Cadder's Hill. They get clearly out of the way.
Oliver gets a little bit held up there. So Ben, I'm expecting when we come back to this next shot, there's Ben just going out of sight. So you can tell he's got that length straight length lead.
Whoa! We didn't quite pan across, but the speed that Conrad was coming into that corner was absolutely insane.
So the battle then between Oliver and Conrad Muse and Watson already been and gone. And Conrad getting a little bit sideways out of the turn.
Totally pushing it, which is understandable.
Putnam and the 500
Murphy, isn't it?
Of Callum Murphy. They're a lap down, but here we are. So if the gap goes out again this time between Ben and Conrad Muse, we're going to say that he's just covering it off.
Well, you'd like to think so, but as we proved in the 125 class, you just don't know in this game, in this sport. But you'd have to say, like, Ben has definitely responded. I'm assuming to his pit board signals. I think his pit crew did a good job there at the right time, saying, right, you've got to up this pace or you're not going to win this thing. And he has responded well.
He has indeed.
I mean, lap times prove it. He's definitely over the last three laps, last two in particular, has stepped it up because Conrad was closing in on him fast. Now, obviously, if Conrad gets... terra firma knack
there, wasn't it? That was... And
good save.
That's the kind of thing where when you jab your foot into the ground, that's what gives you injuries, groin injuries.
That's not going to do his
those hits that we've just found out about,
any favours. That could have been...
Look how chewed out it is there, Jeff, on the inside, on the outside of that bit of the corner. Really, really deep holes and then almost a wall of earth. If you get that wrong. Bobby Bruce up to 8th.
He's really
Grimshaw up to 6th. Tom Grimshaw then
having a good day, isn't he?
5th in race 1, 6th in race 2. And that's a result that Dylan Brown and the Apico squad desperately need because they've had a real tough start to the season.
That's good for them, and they deserve that for that very reason. A very difficult start for the Apico team, but Watson seems to have it all in check. It's going to be, I think, is he going to get round to the finish line with 50 to go?
No, I think he's going to get another lap, and then it's going to be 2.
Yeah, could be right. That might have just shook Conrad up a little bit there to just like, okay, I've done all the hard work, that little scare, because he nearly threw it away.
He did, didn't he? And now I think if he's giving himself a bit of a nudge there, that might be, do you know what?
What I was going to say, until that happened, I was just in the throes of saying it. Of course, if he does pass Oriol Lilier for second, he'd come out of here still on the tied on points regards of the same points as Ben Watson. Ben would have got the overall with a 2-1.
So Ben will yet again win the overall on a tie and retain the red plate on a tie.
If Conrad
on race
gets
wins.
past Oriol,
And obviously, if he doesn't, then Ben is going to take the overall comfortably for the first time this year. He's going to come away having not tied on points with somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it be Oriol Oliver twice or Conrad Muse once. So has Muse got anything left?
Well, he's definitely thrown everything at it. I mean,
Oriol has got, I would say, breathing space. That was where Conrad nearly went down the last lap. Not sure whether he pushed the front or let the rear spun out, but he was giving it everything.
Shows the fine margins, Bill, doesn't it? Because, like, literally 2 laps before, we were waxing lyrical about how he went round that corner like Roxon.
Yeah.
And then he was doing it so sweet. And then 2 laps later, it nearly all went pear-shaped.
Taylor Hamill then dropped 22 seconds to these boys in the last 4 laps.
Yeah, but
since Conrad Muse passed him, but he's still going to that was nice. He's still going to finish a very, very creditable 4th, and Steve Dixon will be very happy with that. I'd love to see the man in green on the podium. He's worked hard and deserves it, but against these 3 guys, he really needs a stroke of luck. And his early race pace is there, but he just hasn't as any non-professional would be. He hasn't got the tools in his armoury to run with these guys.
And it reflects with the times now shown on the K-Tech timing column.
Yeah,
look where he is.
at that.
Talk about stuck in the middle of nowhere. He's 30 seconds now off the top three.
Grimshaw.
But he's like nearly over half a minute in front of fifth. So, yeah, kind of difficult position for Taylor to be in. He's just got to keep his concentration levels and bring it in.
So with the clock run down, then it's going to be 2 laps to go next time by, which is literally at the next couple of corners. And Aurel Oliver looks to me like he's got enough in hand over Conrad Mewse. After that moment, the gap between Watson and Mewse is 8 seconds, and it hasn't really come any lower than that in the last 3 or 4 laps. Oliver has moved his way back towards Ben Watson a little, but as he stands at the moment, the Dirt Store Triumph man is going to take his 2nd overall victory of the championship, retain his red plate and have the outright championship lead as they go to round 4 at Landrake in 2 weeks' time, just on the other side of the Tamar Bridge. Beautiful part of the world.
One last real concerted effort from Conrad, but I think it's just a little bit too late. That it was all trending towards he was going to be able to get a run on Aurel, but the mistake he made a couple of laps ago right there as he led into that, come into that corner. Watson has played a blind to this one. I'd be interested if we obviously do get a chance to speak to him, which I'm sure I will. I don't think he divulged too much information on what changes they made to the bike, but he said he was going to go back, have a rethink, make some different settings on the bike, and whatever they did, it worked certainly out of the gate because he pulled an absolute rip.
He's had some good starts on that bike this year in the GPs, Jeff. So he's just he's doing good work with it, and he's comfortable with the team, and it's nice to see that he can back up his GP form here in the UK.
Well, okay, looks like Conrad is.
It's getting close. There was another rider there in grey, and I thought he'd passed him for a second, but that is, I think, is that Bayless Hutton, the 421? Yes, it is.
Bayless knows.
So Bayless moves over and lets Ben by. No, he doesn't. That's where Ben went off track in Roto 1. So we'll see as they come across the line. Oliver then 4.5 seconds last time.
Watson's still charging, doing what he has to do, really, but I think he's got it in check. Maybe they've just pegged him back a little bit, but he knows exactly where he's at in the race. He's going to get the 1 lap to go board, isn't he, this time around? Or I went too early in one race, so I'm going to sit here until I
you see it till you see the
board.
Yeah, until you see the Watson eyes.
Yeah, there we go.
So there you go, 1 to go then for Ben Watson on the 919. There is Oliver in 2nd, and it looks like Mewse has given that best. It's been a good charge, but not good enough to get back onto the top step of the podium. 6 seconds then. And Watson's just got to get himself around this last lap. Moves his way past slower rider. Not quite sure who that one was. Might have been the 74 of Tom Murphy. Could be wrong.
No, I think you're right.
It is. But Murphy, he's having a decent rider. He was.
Not easy to step into a new team, and obviously, I should imagine he's riding better equipment than what he had previously. But you've still got to adapt to the bike and the team surrounding. So but he's part of the Apico family anyway. They've been supporting him for a while, so it's nice that they've given him the opportunity to step up and put that bike of Josh Gilbert's to good use. Watson down the inside of Charlie Cole. And good work on the blue flags today by everybody out there. They've been on it with that.
But Ben Watson then for the final time, he'll be happy with this. There's Aurel. Oh, look, it's still close. Conrad has still got an outside chance. There's Edward Blackwell. So here comes Watson. Oh, yeah, that was really nice. And like I say, nobody's left. This is still a race worth following. Let's have a look. We're going to see. Oh, he's right on him. Oliver's going to get caught up on Charlie Cole.
He's getting held up quite a lot.
Oh.
Okay, fellas.
Just hold the shot.
Hold the shot. Hold the shot.
There's Watson.
We don't need to follow Ben. We need to see who comes down this hill. Oh, wow. This is going to be good. It's going to go to the flag, Watson, and you know, unless
it comes into sight, it's still Oriole. I think it's enough.
Yeah, I do too.
So our race leader is there. He's second and he's third. Oh, my heart can't take this.
He's okay from there, I think. Unless he gets held up a little bit again, but he should be. Watson's going to cross the line now.
So there's Ben
taking the
victory. Oriole
nearly
second.
Look how close
Conrad
they were at the
Muse third. I think Ben managed that nicely on the final lap. A fantastic overall win then for the Dirt Store Triumph rider. He will take overall victory then from the Crendon True 7 Honda of Conrad Muse, and Oriole Oliver will round out the podium in third place. But for this race, it is Watson, Oliver,